Hello and welcome to Shitty Shenanigans, and welcome to the new mini-series, Shitty Theories, which basically is some conspiracy theories I have for TDX, that be it lore, items, or price. So, yeah, be ready for anything. The first theory is that Malory never actually became nemesis, or rather, she never actually fought a GDA. What I mean by that is, for the first part, she never actually became nemesis. Rather, her body was used as a template, or her soul was just corrupted. That's one of the alternatives. The other alternative is that her body was corrupted, but leaving her soul to wander, stuck there. The other thing that the nemesis actually never left, it could be that the actual nemesis enemy is still stuck in hell, or just found down, so the nemesis wouldn't escape, or be put in danger because, well, what I've seen, nemesis is pretty strong. Yeah. The second theory, which was debunked basically immediately, is that the engineer wouldn't be appearing in the second part. What I mean by that is that the engineer knows that the GDA are too strong for him. So that's why he's sending the bunny armies first to see how he himself would fare against the GDA again. However, since basically awakened army and the first Easter event happened, I'm going to assume that he is smart enough not to go there, or has enough humility to realize when he's a little bit cooked. The next theory is about the cryptocurrency. Now, when you exchange the cryptocurrency for the gold amount, it often means that towers like the refractor cost them like 40,500,000 gold, about. So what I think is that the cryptocurrency is basically a exchange alternative, basically meaning that towers that are either difficult or expensive to develop can be done easier because the GDA is giving Forge Industries more resources, or more powerful resources, or tools, probably not tools, but you get the idea, to make the production cheaper and easier. The next theory, which is more of an actual theory, is how the stealth mechanic works. To begin with, the first alternative is, well, camouflage, which basically means that you will copy the surrounding environment to make you, well, invisible. The next thing is sort of a mimicry program that makes you reflects copies and reflects some sort of light in your background, and make sure that the enemies won't be able to tell the difference. The next thing is some polarizing field or fabric that makes sure that you won't be able to be seen at this long distance, or at a certain angle. The final thing is a sort of radio field or shield that makes so that when light goes through it, the radio wave somehow makes so that the light bounces around you, and basically makes you invisible. So yeah. The last theory is how the healing works. So to begin with, Shotgunner, the ability is basically just a mini repair kit, or a first aid kit. Basically meaning that it will just stop bleeding and make repairs. The next thing is the medic beam, or medic, which basically is basically a supercharger for the natural healing process for the human body. Basically making the cells multiply at a almost cancer rate. Literally. The next thing is the shield. It's the body pack shield healing. It could be nanobots due to the buildings also being buildings also being healed. However, it could be mini shields that stop bleeding and gradually replace and gradually get replaced. And it wouldn't explain the shield healing though. However, it could be a combination of both. The next thing is the common medic's passive revive, which it could be basically a gas form of the Medibeam, however less potent due to it could be due to it being either it could be either radioactive or poisonous at high enough doses at fast enough time. Yeah, and the combat medic drone is basically just a flying medic. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. And don't quote anything on this. I mean, don't quote me on anything on this. If you disagree or found something wrong with one of my theories, let me know, please. Yeah, I'm open to constructive criticism. So no yelling at me. Just be reasonable. But if you like the video or agree with me somehow, thank you. I guess.